Hello, this is Sheshachalam from Astro Guide Mysore. So today, let us carry on with our discussions on Sun in different houses. Today, I will be taking Sun in the seventh house as I have written it on the board. The most important Karakatva of the seventh house is relationships. People have actually got a, it has been limited, that relationships are only for spouse relationships or couples or married life and love affairs. But actually, relationship means with everybody and every materialistic relationship also in this world. So, how we relate ourselves to this world and the worldly things which are around us is the seventh house. So, usually, when planets are very bright and strong, like Sun, which are placed in the seventh house, gives the native a very good aptitude to get into business and to do it in the righteous way, because Sun is a rude planet, no doubt, but is also a very righteous planet. It is a dharma adipati. It is a very good for dharma. It is unbiased and a straightforward planet. So now let us go through one by one the important manifestations or transformations or the results when Sun is in the seventh house of a native's chart. Okay. Usually late marriage. I'm telling it usually because some cases what will happen is the seventh lord might be well posited in the chart in some other house, let us say in the fifth or the ninth or even in any kendras in the 10th along with the fifth lord. So these are all Raja Yogas which actually protect the married age and also will protect the longevity of the marriage. So just by the placement of Sun, I'm just talking about the pure qualities of Sun here. Just by the placement of Sun, one should not come into the conclusion that there would have been marriages and breakups in the chart. We should also, get a reconfirmation after looking into the chart and also understanding the seventh lord and its placement, PSC, position, aspect, and conjunction. So, late marriages, breakups after engagement, troubled and argumentative marriage, and also a marriage which will have loose moral, fights or conflicts between the couple, that is the husband and wife. Usually, when Sun is posited in the seventh house, Sun, wherever it is posited, will make that house very strong. So, it will give confidence to that house until unless Sun is debilitated. If it is not debilitated, if it is placed in the seventh house, it gives a lot of confidence to the spouse of the native. So, whatever chart we are seeing, that particular chart, if Sun is placed in the seventh house, that native's spouse will be very strong, that is dominating. Or if it is not strong and it is malefically placed, then this person will be pestering. So try to understand the differences here. A person being dominating and a person being pestering. We keep telling that you keep playing your music, but I listen to whatever I want. So that would be the level of filter what the husband or the wife would have to bear or take up with his or her own spouse because of so much of pestering. They will continuously, we call it nagging. This nagging kind of a behavior will come when a malefic Sun is placed in the seventh house. The nagging behavior is not for the native anyway, it is for the native's spouse, maybe the wife of the husband or the husband of the wife. It depends. It is on both, it is not gender specific. If you go into the gender and try to understand what transformations it will happen if it is for a girl or it's a boy. So, in a man's chart, if we have Sun malefically placed in the seventh house but is strong, then we'll give him a nagging wife. In the same way, if I turn it around, in a girl's chart, if she has a malefically placed Sun in the seventh house, then she will get a husband who is very indifferent to her. Like that carelessness will be there. whatever you do, who cares? I'm here, I'm taking care of my duties, however you are. So that indifference will actually spoil the married life. So this is a very important thing to know. Usually, Sun in the seventh house is taken as a negative placement. Why? Because it is if we are born in the east, then the Sun is in the west. So that is how it is taken. So east and west, we always tell sun while setting is always weaker when compared to the sun while it is rising. So these people love branded clothing, extravagant spending, want to protect their status in the public. Like for example, they go out with their friends, family, or whatever. They would want to pay. They would want to show off that yes, they can do it. Everywhere that show off thing will be there. Like trying to be, extravagant, trying to be trying to take control over the social fame. So it's like they want it. Many people are there who run to stages to get a garland put on a stage. They either to put the garland or to receive the garland. Nowadays, it has become a show that people take photographs and put it on big holders and posters on the road everywhere else, that as though he is the king of that particular place. He would not even had fought a single election, but he would have had all these big photos of this is pomp and show, and it's actually rubbish. If at all you have won the election also, it is not required that you should wear a huge flower garland which actually weighs more than four people, and 10 people will have to lift it and put it on your neck. They don't put it on the neck because he will die the next minute. So they will just keep it in front of him and take a photograph. It's all stupidity. I have seen people bringing big garlands made of apples. So it happened very recently in North Karnataka, where people were had brought a big garland made of apples. Who fool will be wearing those apples? I don't know. But anyway, this is how people think that they can somehow influence through him, through their leader, and get their work done. So whatever seventh house, if there is sun, these people will have a tendency to gain more money and property, and because they feel that necessity that they should have more and more. So if it is once again negatively posited, then they'll become very greedy. Amassing wealth in the straight way, in the normal way, is a different thing, but still amassing wealth, I don't understand why people will amass wealth. You need to spend, we spend our life itself here. We finish our life because we can't amass life. We cannot keep telling that if I keep amassing wealth, I'll also live for 1,000 years. The more the wealth I have, the faster I will die. So I believe in the fact that people should spend, and they should be knowing how to spend. So when my Guruji was teaching, he told beautiful sentences to me. Like you can know a person by his way of spending. A person who knows how to spend his money is richer than the person who simply has money but doesn't know how to spend it. So this is all beautiful things which my Guruji has taught. He is no more anyway. That's why I keep referring his sentences, whatever he had read from the Upanishads, from the Puranas, from the Shastras, from the Darshana Sutras. So I have not learned that much, but I would always sit with him and he would keep discussing small intrigue issues. Beautiful it was. Anyway, going ahead, people who are having a malefic sun, I'm not talking about a powerful sun. Powerful sun, I told you, it is also malefic when it is sitting in the seventh house, that it delays marriage, makes a person very egoistic, that is the spouse. And most of the times, the native himself will surrender to the spouse because spouse will be very dominating and strong. That is a powerful sun. One, if it is negative, then the spouse will be nagging, showing ego, all these things, and sometimes greedy, jealous. So all these manifestations happen along with, when sun is in the seventh house and malefically posited, weak, then the person might also go through false allegations or maybe real allegations, depending on the chart. Might go through the allegations, and in the job, when he is in the government sector, might go through inquiry, might get suspended, and if it is still going, if he is still going through a bad transit and bad dasha, he can even get terminated. But usually people come back to their jobs after a brief time of interval of this suspension. And it's not like earlier days that even when one word was told that the person would you know leave the job and go somewhere else. It's not like that. Nowadays people have become thick skinned. They are okay even after suspension. They are happily coming back to their offices. But this is not always that it will be false allegation. It might be real allegation also. And this happens when sun is posited in the seventh house and it is very malefically weak, not malefically strong, malefically weak. So I think this gives you a summary, a small talk on what happens when sun is in the seventh house. A detailed chart analysis will be done in the coming days. When after the sun's 12 houses, I will be taking some charts to explain how actually sun has manifested in each chart in each position. So thank you very much for today's class.